So I do see that you're opposed to incorporation, and you actually picked a pretty good reason for it, being uh, not being sure how it would necessarily benefit the community, which that's a very interesting way to think about it, because I know many people just seem to be pro incorporation for no reason, really. I haven't heard too many of the benefits other than maybe some different tax revenue sources. But do you just want to go over incorporation, why you're against it and whatnot? I know that's kind of like a
No, I'm
flashy
glad,
subject.
Jack, that you brought that up, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain that. First of all, let me just correct you. They have not decided on which style of police department they want.
Oh,
There's
okay.
three. They have, which is the contract, which we currently have right now. They have talked about the hybrid model, and then they've talked about the full service model. Contract is what we pay in addition to what we get from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. Okay, so we contract out with additional 80 plus officers to supplement what we have from the county. The hybrid model is a combination of that and hiring your own police officers to kind of halfway start up your police department. In other words, you'd have half of your department would probably be officers that's hard, paid for, and fully employed by the township, and the other half would be on contract. Then you have the full service model, which is the Woodlands on everything. They pay for everything: salaries, equipment, benefits, it all. And my rationale for saying no incorporation now, first of all, we have 2 years before we have to make a decision on that.
Right.
But I want to make sure that when that time comes, that the residents are the ones who's pushing that to say, let's discuss it. And when we do discuss it, let's give them all of the facts, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that they will know what they're going to be paying for. Right now, we have a draft plan. It's not a complete plan. So there has been several consultants who come along and give recommendations, but it's nothing that is firmly established until the residents say, this is what we want. So we have to make sure that the residents know exactly what the cost is going to be, not just for 2022, when it can come back up for a discussion again, but from 2022 beyond. And as a police chief and a police executive who has served in cities and who have been on commissions that have gone around the country and monitored other police departments, I want our citizens to realize that it's just not the salaries and the equipment that you pay for when you start up a police department. You have to pay for their courts that's attached to that. You have judges, you have clerks, you have a jail, you have all the other equipment on top of that. And then you have to have some liabilities that's going to cover lawsuits.
Right.
And I don't know if you read the most recent paper in the media, but the city of Louisville yesterday paid out $12 million for a lawsuit in the death in custody of Breonna Taylor.
Bro, yeah, right. I read about that.
Okay? Now, that's just one lawsuit. That's one. That's $12 million. There's always an escalating clause in lawsuits as you go down the road. So there may be other lawsuits. Not saying that we're going to have lawsuits, but you got to prepare for that. I don't want you and Isabella, if you plan to live in the Woodlands for the next 10 to 15 years, or however long you choose, I don't want to leave that debt on you.
Right.
So that if we do incorporate, let's make sure that we pay as we go. So don't go out there and build a police department based upon credit. Build one that you can afford year in and year out, and be able to accumulate funding for it for the next 5 years as you do your strategic plan. So I want the citizens to know that. So somebody have to put up a stop sign. And I guess I will be that stop sign. I'm always used to being a cop to say, wait, let this traffic come by. Okay, the other traffic can come by. So if I'm going to be cop, let me be the police chief that will control the information that people need to have and give them everything, fully disclose every inch, every dollar, every penny that it's going to cost them. And you do it based upon projections. And then you do it in such a way that it does not leave heavy debt on the next generation.
Right.
And that's my position that I'm taking. I'm not no Jimmy no. I'm a no Jimmy wait and let's see.
Right.
And then when you get the information, if the residents are ready to move forward with it, I'm not going to stand in their way. But until that time, I have to say, let's just take a deep breath and see where we are, see what the cost is going to be, and then divulge all of the information that we will have to the residents.